The diet industry might lead you to believe that there is a precise time of the day to eat your meals that is best or healthiest. But for most of us, the time of the day we eat our meals is determined by myriad factors like our work schedules, our hunger levels, the medication we take, and even the time our family, friends, and co-workers are free to share a meal. The fluid nature of day-to-day life means the sticking to exact meal time every day is challenging, and some days it just might be possible. Plus, the best meal time for you to change or evolve throughout your life. Nevertheless, this doesn't mean that meal times don't matter. In fact, research suggests that the time of the day we eat and the amount of time that elapses between meals may have profound effects on our health. Lunch is an important meal of the day, and it is important to know when to have lunch is important for several reasons. It helps maintain stable blood sugar level, preventing energy crashes and irritability. Regular meal times also support the body's circadian rhythms, enhancing digestion and overall health. Eating lunch at a consistent time aids in portion control. A hunger can lead to overeating. It promotes mindful eating habits, making it easier to choose nutritious options. The question is, when is the best time to eat your lunch? Your metabolism peaks each day between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. aims to eat lunch between these hours to take advantage of stronger digestive function at this time. Lunch should be a lighter meal than breakfast or dinner. And I know that lots of people will want to ask me why, but then we're going to be talking about this in detail as we move further. Welcome to another episode here on Lunch Global. I am Chunk Anamel Joseph. We'll be back shortly after the break, so stay tuned.
Introducing Lunch Global, a culinary journey around the world. Tune in to Global Television with Chong Animal Joseph for a mouth-watering experience like never before. Join in as we explore diverse cuisines, exotic flavors, and exciting recipes from every corner of the globe. Lunch Global.
Welcome back from the short break. For most of us, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. A healthy, wholesome breakfast helps to kickstart our morning by boosting our metabolism and providing us with energy for the day. Talking about an ideal breakfast, we all know it is a mix of carbs, protein, and fat. But what about the breakfast timing? Is there a right time to eat breakfast? Many of us stay for longer hours after we wake up and have our breakfast too late. The practice is not very healthy anyways, and we will also get to learn some of this effect. Why is it very important for you to eat meals in the morning? And I think before the break I was talking about saying your breakfast and your dinner should contain more protein, and it should be a bit heavier than your lunch. And a lot of times people ask question, but I shouldn't eat heavy food at night. I should eat lighter food at night, or probably eat a very heavy food in the afternoon, and maybe eat something to just sustain myself in the mornings. Now, if you want to check and balance and also calculate all of this, when you wake up in the morning, you've already had a long hour of not eating all through the night. It depends on how many hours you sleep. We know that the best time you can sleep and how many hours you can relax your body is 8 hours. Some people sleep their sleeping time is lesser than 8 hours, while others sleep early and then they tend to wake up early hours of the mornings. Now, why you need to eat why your breakfast, your lunch needs to be lighter than your breakfast and your dinner is, trust me, it is okay for you to skip lunch. Yes, it's not healthy. I won't advise you to do, but if you have to, then it's best for you to eat your breakfast very well and eat your dinner very well, because you're going to have like a longer period of not eating over the night. But then what time are you supposed to eat your dinner? Because we know that when you eat without exercising, without allowing the food to digest well, it's still a problem to your health. So now we're going to be looking at this in detail, and of course suggesting time and then hours that is more convenient for you to have this meal, either your breakfast, your lunch and your dinner, so it will be able to digest on time. It will work properly the way it's supposed to work in your body. But if not, then there is going to be a big problem. It affects your health. Sometimes you eat your calorie carelessly. It's lesser than the right amount of calorie you're supposed to consume in a day, or it is way too much. The best time to have your breakfast is within 2 hours of waking up. Having breakfast after waking up is good for your metabolism, says experts. If you are a gym goer, the perfect and precise exercise, or you prefer exercises in the morning, have something light like maybe bananas or an avocado toast, and at least half an hour before working out. And some people also go with oats as well. However, if you feel your workout gets impacted and you are able to perform better with empty stomach, you can have breakfast after the sweat session. For people who want to burn fat, you want to burn calorie, but then even at the gym, they always advise you in the morning, don't work out with an empty stomach. You don't have to eat too much, and that's why you can go in with maybe bananas, you can go in with avocado. These are light food, and then they don't even really choke you. You cannot just wake up first thing in the morning, you're eating heavy calorie, you're eating heavy carbohydrate, or complex carbohydrate, you're eating rice, you're eating yam, maybe you're eating yam porridge or plantain very early hours of the morning before working out. That's why if you in the morning, the best food you can eat, you can go in with either pap, custard, tea, toast, scrambled eggs. There are a lot of options, oats that are healthy for you. So for breakfast, 6 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. is the best time, because anything from 10 is like you're trying to prepare yourself. Even in the home, in our houses, once it's 10, they will start asking, okay, what are we going to eat for lunch today, or in our meal schedule or our meal planning schedule, we're supposed to eat this particular food, and then we're supposed to start preparing lunch at 10 a.m. and then anything from 12, 11, 12, depending on what you're making, is now best for you to eat your lunch. Now, eating a high protein breakfast, you can think eggs, lean pork sausage, Greek yogurt, or nut butter. First thing in the morning was linked to lower rate of weight gain, according to research published in journal Obesity. Plus, those who ate during this window were less likely to feel hungry, and those who postponed their breakfast until about 10 a.m. Another reasons to eat the most important meal of the day, skipping it has been linked to a higher body mass index. So when you don't eat, it affects you really, your overall health. And once you skip that once you keep eating from those hours, it's not like you will not feel hungry, but sometimes hunger strikes like one time. It doesn't take long. You'll be feeling so hungry and you're wondering what is really making you this hungry, and then not knowing that, okay, the right time you're supposed to eat, you're skipping that time, and that is why it's a problem. And as you grow older, it starts affecting you. And when you allow yourself get so comfortable with that timing, then trust me, it's a problem entirely. And from 10 a.m., I think I will call that your snack time before lunch. So if you're starting your preparation for your lunch at maybe 10 a.m., you have all the time to snack. You can eat something even when you have your breakfast, except you're having your breakfast maybe around 9, or let's say around 9:30 or 9:45. Then maybe by around 10 you'll feel a little bit full. But anything from that time, you can go in with your snack. If it's been a few hours since breakfast and lunch still feels light years away, a dietitian suggests a light snack like an apple and peanut butter, or string cheese and a handful of whole grain crackers. By combining a high fiber food with a high protein ingredient, you will take charge of your hunger and cravings. Now, it helps to eat every 3 to 5 hours. So typically 1 to 2 snacks a day, so that your blood sugar level don't dip and you don't get hungry. Women who eat at 190 calorie snack at 10 a.m. burn more fat than those who eat the same snack at 11 p.m. So study also shows that a light snack could lead you to eat less at meal times, and may also help you up your intake of low calorie, nutrient dense food like fruits and vegetables. And when it's time for lunch break, we speak 1 p.m. because it depends on what you're cooking. Imagine from 10 you have 3 hours to prepare your lunch. If you have every other thing in the house without you having to go to the market, then at least you can start your prep from 10 a.m. and like what's come to what, it will just take you like 2 to 3 hours to prepare your meal, and it depends on what you are making. But the ideal time for your lunch, just make sure you start your lunch, because you're taking your snack maybe from 10 and thereabouts to 11, then you still not at this point, you not really have this hunger and you not have much cravings. So it's best for you to now start your lunch properly at 1 p.m. and in the offices, in the place of work, most of the time once it's 1 and it's like, oh, it's time for lunch break, the ringing phone, email notifications and looming deadlines can make it tempting to postpone lunch. But waiting until late afternoons could cause you overeating or make less healthy choices. You could be very, very hungry by the time you do sit down for a meal. If a plate of French fries is put in front of you, you may be inclined to eat the entire plate. So also, research supports the idea of eating an early lunch. Late eaters who grab lunch at 4:30 p.m. had decreased glucose tolerance, took longer to transform carbohydrate into energy, and burned fewer calories at rest than those who ate about lunch at 1 p.m. So interestingly, despite eating a similar number of calories and micronutrients, dieters who ate after 3 p.m. lost less weight than dieters who dine earlier. So that's why you need to know the importance of having to eat at the right time. When you eat at the right time, there's so much comfort. When you eat at the wrong time, trust me. Now, if you eat your lunch late, imagine you're eating your lunch at 4:30. What time do you expect to eat dinner? Now, that's the question. You can't eat dinner at 6. You will not be hungry. You might feel hungry maybe around 9, 10 in the night, and that's just where the problem starts, when you start having to eat late night. And therefore, ladies that in fact, I'm one of those ladies, we complain a lot when you start maybe adding so much weight or having big bellies, and then you're trying to work out, you're trying to take off sort of all tea, I don't even know, green tea, belly fat burner. There are just so many teas out there, and sometimes really those teas don't really work. Maybe they help you aid your digestion, but when you eat late and then it's already time for you to feel sleepy, you won't have a choice. You might just have to end up sleeping and you won't even sleep well. Now I think a few days ago I had a very bad experience, which I think I would like to share. So one of those days, I think one of these few days, I decided to eat a little bit late, and after eating, I was already feeling exhausted and feeling sleepy. I was not able to allow the food to digest well. And the next morning, I could not even sleep. I had to wake up 4 a.m. That's because I could not even sleep well. The food didn't digest. It was making me very uncomfortable. I was even feeling it in my sleep. Now, we have different body system. We react to things differently. But all I can say is it is not convenient for you to have your dinner late and go to bed. If you know you're not going to sleep early, or you're not an early sleeper when it comes to your sleeping at night and all of that, then you can decide to eat a little bit late. Maybe you will walk out, maybe you will still stroll around, maybe you are taking a walk, but then we know that this country is not that safe for you to say you want to take it. Even if your street has all the street lights in Nigeria, now you don't know who is who. So you can't say, okay, just because you're eating late, you want to just take a walk, or you want to just move around so the food can digest. Sometimes it's unrealistic. Yes, it happens sometimes, but then sometimes it's very unrealistic. When we talk dinner, we talk 6 p.m. Sitting down to a late supper could lead to weight gain. Now, John published a small study that showed eating at 6 p.m. as opposed to 10 p.m. led to a 10% increase in fat burning overnight. As the day draws on, your body begins to change its metabolism and decrease the amount of fat that's being used. If you are attempting to lose weight, later eating could contribute to weight gain. Eating an earlier dinner and skipping late night snacking while binge watching your favorite show could also help you sleep better. When those who normally eat at third of their calorie about 6 p.m. and midnight stop eating between dinner and breakfast, the next morning their weight decreased, and there are times in dreamland increases. That's, you get to sleep very well, and then you wake up feeling lighter, not hungry. And I don't know if you've experienced this feeling that when you eat late, that's when you wake up very hungry, and sometimes you wake up sick. Really, it's not like the food has not even digested, but it has not settled into the right spot where it's even supposed to settle in. It just gets to find a place or a reservation spot, and that calorie converts to fat. So when you eat and you don't burn that calorie, that's when it converts to fat, and it does not digest. You're just stuffing the food there. The food is not even having any place to walk around, to move around, so it just find a particular spot and it remains there, and the next thing it converts to fat. A meal that is high in fiber and low in saturated fat can help you feel sleepy faster. So understanding the science behind meal timing and adjusting when you eat breakfast, lunch and dinner could have a big impact on your health. Now, quickly, Jonathan C. explained that our body handles the energy it takes in differently depending on the timing of your meal. And of course, I would say depending on the kind of body you have. There are people who are so slim, they can eat a whole bucket of food and they will sleep immediately after eating, but they don't grow fat. Now, what happened to those kind of people? You might not see a physical reaction of that food, but trust me, your health would definitely affect your health, and it will entirely spoil your eating routine. So the fact that you are someone who has a kind of body who you don't really grow fat, then there is something you really need to check. Why is it that you eat this much and your body doesn't react to it? Now, as you grow old, that's when you start seeing the effect, because probably you are very young, maybe you're in your 20s or in your 30s, and then you are feeling, I'm this slim, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm eating so much, I'm not adding weight. Trust me, there is more to that. So it's best for you to get to stick to the right time of eating. And if you want to eat late, it's okay for you to eat late, but make sure that when you eat at about 9 or 10, probably you have to exercise, and you can't go to the gym when you're so full. Most times you go to the gym when your body is more light, so that you can exercise well, and when you come back you eat lighter and allow the food to digest before you rest. The research now also shows that your ability to burn calorie and regulate your appetite are linked to your circadian rhythms. Failing to match your meal times to your body clock may spark fat storing hormones and cancel out all of the benefits of your healthy diet. The idea of matching your meal times to your body clock is gaining steam thanks to the robust evidence that it can help fuel weight loss. Of course, there's even a circadian rhythm diet that popped up, which is based on the ideal times to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So advisably, if you want to eat your lunch and you want to eat your lunch properly, then you should try eat your lunch anything from 6 p.m. and I'll advise you stop eating once it's 8. It is not even right for you to eat that day, because what time do you expect the food to digest and when do you rest? So the best time you can try eating your dinner should be at 6 p.m. and time for your lunch should be at 1 p.m. while your breakfast can start anything from 6 a.m. to 9:45, and for your midday snack or your mid-morning snacks, 10 a.m. is good, and also anything from 10 a.m., 11, 12, and before your dinner you can as well snack anything, let's say around 3, 4 before it's time for your dinner. I hope you've learned something today, and it's actually a pleasure to always share all of this with you. Trust me, it's always good for you to look out for your health because it's important. Don't forget, health is wealth, and at every time drink a lot of water because you need to be hydrated every time. Thank you for your time with me here on Lunch Global. I am still Chung Annabelle Joseph. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you on Friday. Bye.